be surprised by how easy this is. First, we're going to start with melting chocolate on a double boiler. Cover the strawberries and let it harden in the fridge. Now start with warming up the milk and dissolving the sugar. Now add all these ingredients in a pot, and for the rice flour, make sure you split it up into 3 additions. I added red food coloring for a pink color. Now mix until it's smooth and heat that up on medium until you get a thick consistency like this. To prevent stickiness, just dust your hands in the board with a lot of cornstarch. And flatten out your dough while flipping it over a few times. Put your strawberry in the middle and pinch the ends together. And you can start rolling between your hands on a cutting board. See, that's how easy it is. I hope you guys enjoy.
Today I'm going to show y'all how to make cloud bread. I've been seeing it all over my For You page, so I knew I had to try it out, and it's super easy. You just need to whisk together egg whites, white sugar, and cornstarch until you get really stiff peaks. You can change the color and the flavor just by adding those things in, or you can leave it plain and it still looks really cool. Just bake it at 300 degrees for about 25 minutes. I did 26 and it was perfect. I really like how it dissolves like cotton candy.
Sometimes I feel kind of bad for forcing my family to eat all the stuff I make, so today I made a personal bouzouki. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of melted butter, a tablespoon of light brown sugar, a tablespoon of granulated sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/4 cup of flour, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, pinch of salt. Mix everything together, add some chocolate chips, put it in your ramekin. Then you're going to preheat the oven to 375 and bake that for about 15 to 18 minutes. I added some ice cream and it was so good.
Hi! Today we'll be making French toast roll-ups. I've been making this every day for breakfast ever since I've discovered it, so let's get started. First, get out your bread and roll it as flat as possible until it looks like this. Then get your spread. It's up to you what you want to use. I'm just using Nutella. Spread it all over the bread and then roll it up. And you can make as many as you want. For the French toast mixture, mix 1 egg, some milk, cinnamon, and vanilla together, and just mix it up really well. Then dump your roll-ups into the mixture. Make sure it soaks in really well. In a heated pan, put a lot of butter, and then you can start frying up your French toast. You're gonna want to fry it until it's golden brown, and then you're done. I ate mine with some honey, and you're all set. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!
Okay, here's how to make tang hulu, which is a really popular Chinese street snack. So first grab strawberries. Look how nice these are. Then you're going to wash and pat them dry as best you can. Then insert a skewer down the middle of each strawberry. Then you're going to grab your sugar and water and add it into a pot. There's no real measurements here, it's just 50% water to sugar ratio. Then just let it boil. You don't have to stir it or anything. Then just let it get to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit, or until when you drop some into some cold water, it hardens immediately. So it should be this light amber color. So grab your strawberries and swirl them around and let the excess drip off. Then you can just set them aside to harden. It should harden really fast. And that's pretty much it. So here's some ASMR. Okay, bye.
Hi! Today we'll be making cheesy hot dogs. Start off with any hot dog, and then go ahead and insert a stick into the middle of the hot dog. I used a chopstick because that was all I had. Then go ahead and shred your cheese, and then just start coating the hot dog with the shredded cheese. It should come together. Once you're done with that, prepare your breadcrumbs, an egg, and then some flour. Go ahead and coat it into your flour, then your eggs, and then your breadcrumbs. And repeat that with all your hot dogs until it looks like this. Afterwards, just deep fry it into some oil until it's golden brown and crispy. And you're done. It's really good and I hope you guys try it.
Do you got plans tonight? I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan and I was thinking I could fly to your hotel tonight, 'cause I can get Today's recipe is so easy, and I know I say that about so many recipes that I make, but this recipe only took me 10 minutes to prep and cook. And let me tell you what I'm gonna make. I'm making air fried Oreos. You're just gonna need a crescent roll, cut it into 8 pieces, grab an Oreo and wrap the dough around the Oreo. Do that 8 times and then you're ready to put it in your air fryer. I'm using the Cosary air fryer. It's big enough to fit all 8 of them. Put it in for only 5 minutes and they look so golden and beautiful. Dust it with some powdered sugar and then enjoy.
Hi, we'll be making cinnamon sugar pretzel bites. Start off with putting yeast in warm water, then add salt, brown sugar, and melted butter. Then mix that up, and then add the flour. Continue to stir that until you form a dough. Once it's not sticky, you can put it in a floured surface and start kneading the dough very well. After that, let it rest for about 30 minutes. While it's resting, prepare the baking soda bath. And then after 30 minutes, get the dough, separate it into 6 equal parts, and start rolling it up into snake-like pieces. And then start cutting it up into equal pieces. Once that's done, you can go ahead and put it into the baking soda bath we made earlier, and let it boil for about 30 seconds each. And then put an egg wash after, and then put it into the oven for 15 minutes. When it comes out, just put the coating, and you're done!
Baby, you're like lightning in a bottle. I can't let you go now that I got it. All I need is to be struck by your electric love. Baby, your electric love. Electric love.
Okay, here's how to make these really easy chewy salted caramels. So first, melt the butter and the cream together. Then you can mix the honey and some water in a separate saucepan and bring it over to the stove. Alright, so then you can add your sugar and just mix everything together. Once it starts to boil, you can add a lid for about 1 minute. Then take the lid off and add a thermometer and cook the mixture until it reaches about 160 degrees. Okay. So then you can add the cream gradually. It's going to be really hot and bubbly, so just be careful. Okay, and then it should cool down the mixture, so then once it's added, cook it again till it reaches 125 degrees. Then you can add it into a pan and then just let it set for a few hours. Sprinkle it with some salt as well, and once it's set, just cut it into little bite-sized pieces, kind of like this, and that's it. Caramels.
A lot of you asked me to make this, so here it is. Start by scooping ice cream onto plastic wrap, and you want to shape that into a ball and then twist the ends to make it tight. Then you want to let that harden in the freezer for a couple hours. Now simmer the milk and sugar until the sugar is dissolved, and then add in your vanilla extract, oil, and then food coloring if you want. Now slowly add in your mochiko rice flour, and you want to make sure that you're mixing while only adding a little bit at a time. Then you want to increase your heat to medium, and you want to mix the entire time for about 5 minutes. It'll start to get glutinous like this, and you can even taste it. It should taste chewy. Now you want to dust the board and your hands with a lot of cornstarch. This is going to make it less sticky and allow you to stretch it out. And you just want to flatten it, flip it over, and then keep on doing this. When your dough is cool, just put that on plastic wrap and then put your ice cream on top. Then twist the ends together and then put that back in the freezer. And there you go, strawberry ice cream mochi.
Super easy 5-ingredient cookie butter cookies. This was trending like a couple weeks ago with peanut butter, and I wanted to try it with cookie butter. So 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of cookie butter, 1 egg, a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a cup of chocolate chunks. Mix that together, roll it into balls, put it on parchment paper, and stick this into the oven at 350 for about 9 or 10 minutes. Let that cool for a little bit, and you kind of basically just turn cookie butter back into a cookie, but the texture of this cookie is so good, just like any other cookie.
Okay, here's how to make these chocolate truffles with only 2 ingredients. So grab a can of condensed milk and 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. So you can heat up the condensed milk on the stove until these small bubbles form, and then pour it into a separate bowl so it doesn't burn. Then you're going to mix the cocoa powder in several different batches, just because if you do it all in one go it gets really clumpy and it's hard to mix, it's not fun. Okay, so once you've done that, it should take on a more fudgy kind of texture. So that's when you can pour it into a pan that you've dusted with cocoa powder, and then just let it set in the fridge for about 2 hours. Once that's done, you can take it out and start to cut it into little squares with a really sharp knife. So it should look something like this. And then I like to use my fingers to kind of round the edges out so they look a bit nicer, and then dust it with cocoa powder and you're done. Here's how to make chocolate macarons. So for the filling, melt dark chocolate and cream together and let that sit on the side. Then sift your almond meal, icing sugar and cocoa powder together and give that a whisk until everything is combined. Then you can move on to your eggs. You're only going to need the egg whites for this recipe, so go ahead and use the egg yolks for something else. So whisk the egg whites and sugar together until you get stiff peaks. Then you can fold your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients in 3 separate batches. This is where it can take some practice to get the hang of it, because you need a very specific consistency, sort of like this. So fill your piping bag and pipe little circles onto a baking sheet and let that sit for about 20 minutes. Then you can put it in the oven for 14 minutes at 140 degrees Celsius. Then fill your piping bag with your filling, pipe it in between the shells, and that's pretty much it. Here's how to make Nutella mochi. So first, spoon some Nutella out and put it in the freezer. Then grab glutinous rice flour, sugar and water and give everything a whisk until it's well combined. Then you can cover it with plastic wrap and put it in the microwave for 1 minute. Take it out, give it a good stir, and then cover it again and put it in the microwave for 1 minute. Then you can take it out, give it a stir, and this time put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So you can see it's nearly ready, so give it one final stir and then put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So it'll look like this when it's ready. Then you can dump it onto a baking sheet that's been dusted with cornstarch. It's going to be really, really sticky. Then just cut them into whatever size you want. Grab your Nutella balls and pinch the mochi shut, kind of like this. Then you can dust it with cocoa powder and you're done. Mochi!
Grab some Oreos. You'll need about 36. Either put them in a Ziploc bag or a food processor and crush them. It should look something like this. Grab about a spoonful to save for later. Grab about 8 ounces of cream cheese and mix it in. After mixing, it'll look something like this. Now you'll need a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. Roll the mixture into a ball and place it on the sheet. Make some space in your fridge and leave them in there for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, grab another bowl and pour in some white chocolate chips. Put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Take them out and mix them around and repeat this until they're melted. After 30 minutes, take them out and put them on a stick. Now they're ready to be dipped in chocolate. Just like that. Put them back onto the parchment paper and pour your Oreo crumbs on them. They're gonna end up looking something like this. So yummy. Put them back into the fridge for 10 more minutes and they're done.
If you're into watching ASMRs, you've probably seen this before. I'm going to show you how to make it. First, add all of your dry ingredients in a bowl and mix that really well. Then in a separate bowl, you're going to mix your wet ingredients. I know it's an extra step, but mixing your wet and dry ingredients separately is really important when you're baking. Then just combine the wet and dry and mix that really well. Then butter a nonstick pan on medium heat. Add half of your crepe batter and tilt the pan to make a circle. It took me about 2 to 3 minutes on each side to cook, but this may be different for you. Then when both of your crepes are done cooking, just set that on the side to let it cool. Now overlay one crepe on top of the other. Add some Nutella on the bottom if you want. I realized here it was too much cream, so I just took a little bit out and then re-rolled it. So just fold both sides, and starting from the bottom, try your best to fold it up to form a towel. Then just dust with some cocoa powder to give it a more textured look. It looks kind of like a towel, right? I did my best.
Okay, here's how to make a classic cookies and cream mochi. So crush those Oreos, then whip up some cream with sugar until stiff peaks form. Then take your Oreos and fold it into the cream. Then scoop it out into little balls and put it in the freezer. Then grab glutinous rice flour, sugar, crushed Oreos and water and give that a whisk until everything is combined. Then you can cover it and put it in the microwave for 1 minute. Take it out and give it a stir. Put it back in the microwave for 1 minute. Take it out and give it a stir. This time put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Give it one final stir and then back in the microwave for 30 seconds. As an alternative, you can steam it for 15 minutes. Okay, dust everything with cornstarch, then split the mochi evenly. Then you can grab your filling and pinch the mochi shut around it. And that's pretty much it. You can never go wrong with cookies and cream.
세상의 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 내 여자가 되어달라고 눈부셔 Always you're my star 내가 너 지켜줄게
Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make the best Rice Krispie treats. Add 4 tablespoons of butter. Once that's all melted, add a bag of Jet Puff marshmallows. It should turn out something like this. Add about half a teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to want to add about 6 cups of Rice Krispies. Mix that up. Then you're going to want to transfer this into here. After, you should spread it out. Pop it in the fridge for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, take them out and cut them up. Each piece should be about this big. Then you're going to want to melt some Hershey's chocolate and put it all over. Take some sprinkles. So this is how they turned out.
On today's menu, we're making banana bread. Get yourself some really ripe bananas. The darker the banana, the sweeter the juice. Wait, mash them really good with a fork, and then we're gonna add some eggs and cannoli oil. Give that a mix and just let it vibe on the side, and now we're gonna work on our dry ingredients. The usual suspects, flour and sugar, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. And today, we have a special ingredient. Yeah, psych? But no, seriously, we're using vanilla jello pudding. I have never— Shut the fuck up, I'm recording, damn! Moving on, combine the 2 bowls and gently fold them together, okay? Do not overmix. Now, I love chocolate, so I'm gonna throw some in there. No, seriously, like, feel free to add anything you want. I've seen people add coconut, walnut, any kind of nut. Take your banana bread mixture and pour it into a bread tray and bake it at 325 degrees for about 1 hour. Once you can poke it with a toothpick and it comes out clean, we are pretty much done. This baking shit is easy. The bread came out more moist than me after sitting on a barber chair for 1 hour, you know? And that's pretty moist. Add some ice cream on top if you're feeling crazy.
Today we're making super crispy Korean cheese corn dogs. Oh my gosh, look at that stretch. You're going to need the following dry ingredients and wet ingredients and just mix it all together. The batter is ready when it looks like this. Put it in a cup and refrigerate for 20 minutes. Roll your cheese stick in flour, dip it into the batter and twirl it until it gets stuck on like that. Cover it with panko crumbs. I also made one with potatoes on the outside, just cover it in the crumbs after. Fry it at 350 for about 4 minutes or until it's golden brown. Crispy, gooey, cheesy goodness.
According to today's menu, we're making pizookies. A little bit of melted butter into a big ass bowl along with some brown sugar, 1 large egg, and a little bit of vanilla extract in. Give that a mix until it looks something like peanut butter. Honestly, I could just stop right here and just eat this batter, but we're gonna add some flour, then add a little of salt and baking soda, and combine everything together until it's smooth. What? We're just gonna go ahead and ignore that clip. Once you have something that looks like this, it's time to incorporate our chocolate. And in a mini cast iron skillet that I got at why is that so hard for me to say? Bed Bath & Beyond. There you go. Throw your dough in, and we're gonna bake it in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. See? Do you guys see my issue with chocolate chips? They're way too perfect and circular. That shit is weird. Top the cookie off with some vanilla ice cream. And since I'm an overachiever, I added some chocolate syrup and some dulce de leche. This baking shit is easy. You got a hot cookie and some cold ice cream. Amazing. I know all the dentists watching this right now are like, heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. First things first, get yourself a can of crescent rolls. In 1 can, you're gonna get about 8 pieces, right? Cut each piece into 3. 8 times 3 is 52, so you're gonna end up with that many pieces total, okay? Moving on, I got myself some mini cocktail sausages, and we're gonna roll them onto the dough from the thick side to the skinny side. Bro, I came out the womb rolling spring rolls, so this shit was easy. Anywho, transfer onto a baking tray and let it vibe on the side until we get some butter. Melt the butter and brush it all over our rolls. This is my mom, a 5-time convicted felon of stealing my food. Now for the topping. If you're Caucasian, put your hands up. If you know the seasoning, say what's up, what's up. Ooh. Everything but the bagel seasoning sprinkled on top. And we're gonna bake these in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Take them out and we're gonna plate it. Add just a little bit of parsley. Butter spray just to make it look shiny. And that's pretty much a wrap. That's how I made pigs in a blanket. Look at this shit. Newton in a blanket, eating pigs in a blanket. Let's go. These remind me of the pretzel dogs at Auntie Anne's that I used to get as a kid. Anyway.
Today we're making my favorite mochi, tiramisu mochi. So first grab ladyfingers and break them into pieces and soak it in some strong coffee. For the cream, you can visit my previous tiramisu video, or you can just use whipped cream. Then scoop it out into balls and put it in the freezer. Grab glutinous rice flour, sugar, cocoa powder and water, and give that a whisk until everything is combined. Then you can cover it, put it in the microwave for 1 minute, take it out, give it a stir, put it back in the microwave for 1 minute, take it out, give it a stir, and this time put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. One final stir, and then put it back in the microwave for 30 seconds. Okay, done. You can also steam it for 15 minutes if you want. Dust everything with cornstarch, and then you can separate the mochi into even pieces. Then grab your filling from the freezer and pinch the mochi shut around the filling, and then dust it with cocoa powder, and that's it. You're done.
First things first, get yourself 3 eggs and we're gonna separate the egg yolk from the egg white. We only need 2 yolks though. Hey yo, yolk check. Let the egg whites vibe out on the side. And for the yolk, it needs some milk, vegetable oil, and vanilla extract. Give it a good mix and we're gonna get some flour and sift it into our bowl. What this does is basically ensure that there's no clumps. We want our batter as smooth as possible, alright? Once it looks something like this, bam, bada bap, boom. We're gonna go back to our egg whites, alright? A little bit of vinegar, boom, in there. And using a hand mixer, we're gonna mix it until it's boobly like this. Add sugar and continue mixing until they look like clouds. Oh shit. Now all we gotta do is combine the 2 bowls that we worked on and we're pretty much done. Yeah. Transfer the batter into a piping or Ziploc bag. Cut the tip off, butter up a pan, and you wanna pipe the mixture into the pan in the shape of a circle. Now cover it, cook for 3 minutes, flip it over. Huh? My pancake broke, bro. Are you kidding me? After another 3 minutes, we're gonna take it out, add some powdered sugar, some fruits, butter, mint, some syrup, and we're done, baby. Let's go. Ignore the burnt one in the back. Swear to God, these pancakes had me in love. First off, you're gonna get a really big Ziploc bag. You're gonna ask for the biggest shrimp that you can find at the supermarket. Look at my shrimp. 4 cups of flour, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and just shake it around. I'm filming this with my mouth and I'm so proud of it. So you're gonna put the fire to high, low, a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna put a little bit of butter, you know, be modest. Psych, this shit ain't a game. I don't put more butter because I want to. Alright, after the butter melts, you can put your garlic in. Sploosh. Make sure you do not burn the garlic. Last time I burnt my garlic and it tastes like straight ass. So we're gonna transfer our garlic butter sauce into a bowl. A little bit more olive oil. Take the shrimp out of the bag into the oil. Beautiful. And after 3 minutes, we're gonna flip it over and oh my god, beautiful. You thought we didn't have more shrimp? We got all the shrimp. We're gonna pour our butter sauce all over. Okay, that's just the butter. Boom, okay, that's the garlic. Mix it around, show it some love, you know, flippity flop. And now for the most important part, put some parsley on there, man. Bitches love parsley, bro. Just put it on there. And now let's just take a moment to appreciate the view. Oh my god. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Okay, here's how to make Oreo brigadeiros with only 3 ingredients. So grab condensed milk, butter, and of course Oreos. So start by splitting the Oreo cookie from the cream and crush the cookie part until it is really fine. Then you can move over to the stove and heat the butter, the condensed milk, and the Oreo filling. Give it a mix. Make sure you use a non-stick pot because I had to swap to one halfway because it was messy. Anyway, just give it a stir until it starts to thicken and looks like this. Then you can add the crushed Oreos as much as you like really and just give everything a stir. Then you can put it in a pan and just let that set and cool down for about an hour. When it's ready, you can take a really sharp knife because it's really sticky and just cut them into little squares. Then you can coat them in crushed Oreos and shape them a little bit and you're done.
Hey, how y'all doing?
This week has been very emotional, tense, a lot of adjectives, okay? So I thought, let's make a breakfast sandwich together. Yes! We're gonna kick things off by making some bacon. Once it's done, transfer onto a paper towel. We're gonna proceed to toast our bagels in that bacon fat and butter. Once it looks like this, take it out and it is not burnt, okay? I think it's the lighting in my kitchen that makes it look. Moving on, we're gonna get started to work on our egg. A little bit of butter in. Crack in not 1, but 2 eggs. And once the egg white settles, we're gonna pop the yolk. I hate yolk because it looks like it would taste like Sunny D, but it doesn't. That shit is disgusting. Anyways, we're gonna throw on some American cheese. Cover it to help it melt faster, and that's pretty much it. This cooking shit is easy. Assemble your sandwich how you like it, okay? Throw it onto a plate. But most importantly, add some parsley. Bro, I never knew that I would miss saying a word so much. By the way, I heard they sell these in New York for $3.50. Huh? How do they make money?
So, you may not know this, but you can take your favorite cake mix and easily turn it into a batch of fresh cookies. All you need is the cake mix, vegetable oil, 1/2 cup, 2 eggs, and that is literally it. Mix it up. I added extra sprinkles. You could add any mix-in you want. Cookie scoop, scoop it up. Boom. In the oven, 350. Dough is awesome. Cookies, also awesome.
A couple months ago, I tried this Korean cheese dog and it was amazing. Mwah! So today we're gonna try to make it. First and foremost, get yourself some string cheese and hot dogs. Cut each of them in half and we're gonna put them on some to-go chopsticks. Look at it, we have the best of both worlds. We have cheese, we have meat. Anyways, to make the batter, it's really just flour, sugar, a little bit of salt, baking powder, milk, and 1 egg. Mix it until it's smooth. Looking back at this footage, how come none of you guys told me that my hair made me look like a pineapple? How come nobody told me? Oh yeah, we also need some panko breadcrumbs for the exterior. Do not forget that. Fry them in some hot oil until they're golden brown on the outside. It actually cooks pretty fast, so if you have a lot of people over, you can just crank them out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Add some parsley. Guys, I tried so hard to do a proper cheese pull, but the cheese just wasn't being itself that day. But honestly, I don't even blame the cheese because life is hard and sometimes I don't even want to. Wait, huh? Whoa, this got deep.
세상에 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 내 여자가 되어달라고 눈부셔 Always you're my star 내가 너 지켜줄게.
On today's menu, we're making Hasselback potatoes. Probably one of the most satisfying dishes I've made so far. I just want to stare at it. Get yourself a Rousseau potato and lock it in with 2 chopsticks. Cut very thin slices into the potato. Do not cut all the way through. Throw it onto a baking tray, and in a separate bowl, we're gonna melt ourselves some butter, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and garlic powder since we add it to everything. Let's go! Mix that up, and we're gonna slowly brush that into every single potato crack. This reminds me of, you know how like when you shower, you take your hands and you credit bake at 450 for 50 minutes. Take it out and how did I burn my potatoes? The show must go on. Okay, we're gonna take a slice of cheddar cheese and put it in between every slice of potato and proceed to melt the cheese in the oven. Take it out and top it off with sour cream and green onions. This was supposed to have bacon. I remember buying it, but I guess I left it at the self-checkout. Anyways, what's up with the weather in the Bay? This morning I woke up to a loud boom. Bro, I thought somebody popped me while I was sleeping. Come to find out, we just had a thunderstorm.